George Parr, you are one of the most highly paid merchant bankers in the city.
Yes, I come from a long line of bankers, and
And there has been a lot of controversy lately about the huge rewards paid to merchant bankers in the city.
To be frank, it is true that some of us who work in the city do get truly obscene amounts of money. That's why we do it.
Yes.
I mean, but people will pay us. People pay us, and I moved banks 2 years ago. I left a very senior position with a very high salary, and I moved over to my present bank.
Mm-hmm.
And up to the challenge,
Yes.
and the risk. It was a tremendous risk when I did that.
What sort of risk?
Well, I gave up a £2 million bonus, which I would have got from my old firm.
So what was it really that made you jump in that direction?
Well, as I say, I wanted the challenge. My basic salary they offered me was of course much higher, but that really wasn't it. I think in looking back on it, probably what tipped the balance was the £2 million compensation I got for the bonus that I would have had. I think that's probably.
So what do you find so attractive about your present bank? I mean,
in the contract, when I started work, I was given what is called a golden hello.
How does that work?
It's obviously difficult to describe in layman's terms, but simply is that when I first arrived, I said hello, and they give me a cheque for £500,000. It's a sort of yes.
Yes. Is that unusual?
It's very common practice. Very common practice. It's a sort of it's an indication that you've started work, really. Sometimes the only indication.
But obviously this was a completely one-off payment.
Oh yes, obviously. you couldn't have it. No, I didn't get anything else until the end of my first month, when I qualified for the golden hello again.
And what did that indicate?
That was a recognition, really.
That you were still there?
That I was still there. That I'd stuck it out for a month, through thick and thin.
Yes.
Hell and high water. And then I was about to start on my second month, which, of course, triggered my loyalty bonus.
You must have been very, very happy working there, weren't you?
Well, no, I think by the end of the second month, I felt I was getting in a rut, rather. I felt a bit restless, how one does. And so they gave me incentive payments.
Incentives?
Incentives to go to work, yes.
But you were being very, very highly paid anyway.
Yes.
So why did you need incentives on top of that?
Well, it is partly because I was being very highly paid. I bought a beautiful new house and a new wife. I bought a beautiful... when Monday morning and the alarm goes off and you think, goodness, 10 o'clock already, and... you feel, well, why should I? Well, I don't want to go to work. I want to stay here. You need something to get you in, really. So that's where the incentive payments came in.
But isn't there a sort of vicious circle here? That they give you incentives to go to work, and so you get richer and richer and richer, and so you need
more incentives.
More incentives, and the house gets more and more beautiful, so you need more incentives to leave
absolutely.
it. Doesn't there come a point where you just don't want to take the money anymore?
Well, it's funny you should say that. No.
But can I ask you this from a spiritual point of view? I mean, when you look in the mirror, do you think, am I really worth all this money that the bank is paying me?
Oh, well, yes, I think after all they wouldn't pay me otherwise, would they? I mean, they know I could have gone off to somewhere else just like that, to another firm. Yes, certainly.
Particularly now since they fired you last week.
That's right. Yes, they did.
As far as I know, the story is that one of your subordinates at the bank, a young trader, was fraudulently investing money and declaring huge profits from these investments which actually didn't exist.
They didn't
Right?
exist. No,
right.
that's right.
And although you weren't personally involved in the fraud, it was your job to supervise him.
That was my job, yes.
And you didn't do it.
Really, because these traders, you know, that they are very temperamental, and if they feel they're being interfered with, they get very highly strung, and they go off and work for somebody else. You see, and that
wouldn't that have been a very good thing?
He would, yes. But we didn't know that at the time.
No.
But eventually, and the other thing, of course, was that these profits that he was declaring from that company and from the Kalahari Jungle Clearance Company, which he were huge, and not only were his bonuses tied to those profits, but so are ours as the executives. You know.
And I see. Yes.
And we had meetings, you know, to discuss whether we should ask him what was going on. I mean, we thrashed it out. It was very. Some of these meetings went on for I remember, I think, well, a minute and a half, before we decided not to do it. But eventually, of course,
he was confronted. You confronted him.
Yes, we did say,
and you said, where is all this money coming from?
And he said, well, just flat out, he said, the fairies brought it. And I thought, well, thank God, there's an explanation.
Did you actually see any fairies?
Oh, come on, of course I didn't see any fairies. What a stupid question. No. I mean, he explained that only certain people can see the fairies.
So now you're out of a job.
Yes, I'm afraid so. Well, that's how it is in the city, you know, high risk and challenges, and then one day you're a high-flying executive, the next, as I am, out with nothing.
You have nothing?
I have nothing but the clothes I stand up in, 2 years' salary, and my £3 million pension fund. And that's
all you have. That's all you could carry away.
Yes, that's right.
What are you going to do now?
Well, I'm certainly not going to sit around feeling sorry for myself. I'm going to sue the bank for the bonuses to which I think I'm entitled.
Forgive me, but I mean, what you appear to be saying, Mr. Power, is that if you're successful, you should be highly rewarded. I think we'd all agree with that. But also, if you fail, disastrously fail, then you should also be highly rewarded.
No, certainly not. Absolutely not. No. If success should be highly rewarded. Failure should be compensated.
That's perfect. Thank you very much.